Basically just cut out your subject, make a selection, cut them out, delete the background, move it to a different area, put an outline over it, and then export it in the size that you want. Oh, we're live. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the stream. It's your boy Mr. Lively, coming at you live, Lee, with the first stream as an affiliate. So God bless everybody. I'm an affiliate now, which is pretty sick. And with affiliate comes the opportunity to have emotes. So today you're gonna see me create my own Twitch affiliate emotes. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up my photo in Lightroom. If you don't have Lightroom, there are a bunch of free photo editing softwares online that I'm sure you can find. So right here, I've opened up my photo that I want to turn into an emote. I think this is a pretty fun expression. I think this kind of goes along the lines of like Pog, and so we're doing that. So right here, I'm just gonna adjust the colors a little bit. You can see I already kind of adjusted the colors because originally, if you look what it looked at originally, it was very, very pale in comparison. Like this just looks like a super pale ghost face. So what I did was I added some colors, I added some contrast, I added some saturation, I increased the orange color just a little bit. It took out the red. I think the red, depending on where you adjust, you can see it's like really red and not great. So I'm just gonna leave it around -10, and then I sharpened it a little bit and create some noise reduction so that it's a little smoother surface. So did that, and then now I'm going to open this file into Photoshop. I'll skip this time. So now here in Photoshop, I'm going to open a file, or you can just drag and drop your file if you want. So I'm going to drag and drop my file into here, and now it opens up. So here in Photoshop, this is my workflow technique. It may not be the most efficient, but this is kind of how I learned. And so hopefully I don't have too many bad habits for you guys to kind of roast me, but we'll see how it goes. So right now the file is locked. It's in a background fashion. I like to double click that and turn it into a layer. So turn that into a layer, and then I always just duplicate it just in case, just so you have a saved copy. I usually like to title it the OG. That one I'll just keep non-visible, and then I'll just primarily work on this first layer. So honestly, the most difficult part about this is probably just cutting out your subject. But in Photoshop, they have some incredible tools that allow you to really get into cutting out your subject very easily. So the most precise tool in my opinion is the pen tool, and the pen tool, it's great. You pick a point, you pick another point, and creates a line, and then you just continue picking points, and then if you hold it, you can kind of layer it a different way and change your direction depending on what you want to do. But with the pen tool, it's a little too precise, and I think with emotes, especially if we're working at 112 pixels, we really don't need to get that intense. So you have these other options here. You have the object selection tool, the quick selection tool, and the magic wand tool. Quick selection tool, you can see what happens if I click an area depending on how large my size is. It'll kind of figure out, oh, this looks like a section, I'll highlight that. And then you can just keep adding to it by clicking. So that's actually a really good cutout. I might actually keep that, but I just want to show you guys the different options you have. So you have that. The magic wand tool is like the quick selection, but it's a little bit more precise. So it goes for more detail. And so you can see when I'm clicking, it gets rid of the previous one. So with the magic wand tool, if you hold shift, you can add to your selection, so you can see that it's just continuously adding, but you can also see that it's very it's a lot more detail oriented. Like it's getting more detail, it's figuring out, oh, this is a selection, this isn't. It's creating those shapes. So for this one, I wouldn't use the magic wand tool just because there'd just be so much clicking and it just doesn't look great. So if you hit Control D, you can deselect, and then the object selection tool, you create a box around your subject, and then it tries to figure it out on its own. So right here, it actually did a decent job as well to kind of figure out what the subject was. I'm mainly looking just for the head portion. So I'm actually going to decide to use the quick selection tool, and I'm just gonna highlight these portions and see how they work. Add that, that's fine. All right, cool. So actually, And same thing, if you want to remove a selection, hold Alt and you'll see a minus symbol on the circle. But to be completely honest, this is actually a pretty decent cutout. Now that you have like a general selection of what you want to edit and what you want as your subject, you can go and use I like to use the Lasso Tool. And what this basically does is you can just draw and basically portion out pieces that you want. So if you hit the Z key, you can zoom in. So I'll zoom in a little bit just to work closer. And I kind of want to just get like my jawline right here and go around. Maybe I'll keep the shadow. Nah, I don't think I need the shadow. So I'm just going to go around the jawline over here. So if I grab the Lasso Tool, same concept. If you hold Shift, there's a little plus sign next to the Lasso Tool and it adds that portion into your selection. If you hold the Alt key, the subtraction symbol shows up and you remove that. So for example, if I were to use hold Shift, get the addition symbol, boom, that gets added to my selection. Because if I don't do that, it'll just create its own new selection. You don't want that. But I'm going to use the Alt tab or the Alt key and remove selection. So let me just go and remove this section here. And you don't have to be too precise with it just yet, mainly because of the fact that like there's no need to. And then you just kind of close it out and it removes that. So see that? I'm actually going to get a little bit tighter here. Hey guys, so I'm just going to speed through this part because it's pretty monotonous. You're basically just removing and adding the portions of the cutout that you want. And yeah, so we're just going to speed through it and get back into it. All right, so now after cutting it all through, this is my final cutout. Looks pretty decent. Let me check this spot real quick. Yeah, that looks fine. So there's my final cutout. And yeah, so now we can move on to the next step. Now that I have a dotted line cutout, boom, boom, we're going to make a selection. So I'm actually going to select the inverse. So if you hit Control Shift I, you select the inverse, which is before I was selecting my face, but now I'm selecting everything that I wasn't selected. So the outside, the background, and then you just hit the delete key. And then boom, you have transparent empty space around, and then you have the cutout. Now, if I look at the cutout, honestly, I don't mind this. This looks pretty decent. I think this looks pretty good. It's simple. The hair looks a little funny, but it's okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to open up a new window, and I'm going to make it custom pixel length. So I'm going to, let's just go with a 2000 by 2000 for now, and just say emote pog 1, emote pog 1. Yeah, everything else looks good. Background, I'm going to change it to transparent because we don't need a white background. So I'm going to create that. And the reason why I'm doing this is mainly because for my workflow, I want to have a separate file where it's just the emote. This is the separate file where this is the OG photo. So if I bring this back and hit the visibility, it comes all back. So that'll be its own file. So I can edit this if I want to make a new selection or what have you. For me, it just works out better. I like to have things separated in that way. And right here will just be the emotes. So this is where I'll get the final view. So if you go back to the original, you hit the V key. That is the move tool right here, the move tool. You hit V. And with this layer selected, I can just click and grab it, drag it over to the other file, and drop it in there. Now, right now, I want to resize it. So I'll hit Control T, and then I'm going to hit the Shift button while I drag. The Shift button allows you to keep the aspect ratio so that the sizes don't get all wobbly. So if I don't have the Shift key, then I can just rearrange this in any way I want. And, that's no fun. If I hold the Shift key, it maintains that aspect ratio no matter what. So I'm going to maintain that aspect ratio. I'm going to move it around to where I like it. And actually, just because I don't like this dead white space, I think I'm going to stretch out my face just a little bit. I'm going to hit enter, and then, all right, so for the last bit here, I'm going to add a stroke, which you can also call just an outline. So I'm going to add an outline to the back of this. I'll double click on this layer. And then this window should pop up. You have all these different options. You're just going to go to stroke, click that, turn it on. and I clicked it as white, but just so you guys can see, because it's probably hard to see, if you hit black, you can see the outline. I'll make the size larger. So you see that outline that's showing up on the side here. That's basically what I'm controlling with the stroke right now. So that's that. I'm actually just gonna make it probably a simple 5. I might need a little bit more than a 5 actually. Let's go for 7, see what that looks like. Okay, 7, but I'm also gonna change the color back to white. So this just makes it look a little bit cleaner, gets everything, you know, nice and neat, because that's always good. That's always good to have a nice and neat look. And yeah, now we're done, to be honest. I think that's it. So the last thing you want to do is you just want to export your files in the correct size. So what I'll do is I'll go to image, I'll go to image size, and then right here it's in pixels at the moment. I'm going to change this to 112 by 112. And then boom. Now it's resampled. Super tiny. Let's see what it looks like. So yeah, this is the 112 by 112 pixel. I think it looks pretty decent. Yeah, I actually like it. What do you guys think? Maybe you guys like it, maybe you don't, but I hope this helps in creating your own Twitch affiliate emotes. This is one of my first tutorials, and if you guys like this, I'll kind of try my best to show you guys more. My whole idea right now is I just became a Twitch affiliate, and I know a lot of people are either striving to become an affiliate or striving to become a partner. We're all trying to grow, so why not grow together? So I'm just going to try my best to document all the things that I'm doing for my Twitch. And this is the first step that I'm doing as an affiliate, is I'm making my own emotes, because as nice and simple as it was, you can just pay someone on Fiverr.com $5, $10, whatever they charge, to make your own, to make an emote for you, just like this one over here. Or if you happen to have Photoshop and you want to learn something, and you might be able to even monetize that skill, if you go on Fiverr and you can create this for someone else, do the same thing of what I just did. Basically just cut out your subject, make a selection, cut them out, delete the background, move it to a different area, put an outline over it, and then export it in the size that you want. So that's basically what I did. And the last step is, now we're in the correct size. This is the 112 by 112. I will export it, export as, and yeah, you want to click a PNG, make sure the pixel is the right size that you want, export it, put it into a specific file that you want. So right here, I'll do emote pog. There's that. And then boom, bada bing. Open that bad boy up. Boom. There you go. There we have it. So there you go. I have my first 2 emotes of my Twitch affiliate channel. But after you create this emote, export it in the correct PNG sizes to preserve that transparency. That's why you want to do a PNG file. You just go to your Twitch page and then upload it to your tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 subs, and then you have emotes for your channel. So that's about it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me and creating this first emote. I'm going to be working on creating some more, so hopefully you guys like them. Good luck on your streaming careers. Hopefully you guys are striving and thriving and just creating a positive community, because that's what I'm all about. So feel free to catch me on my stream Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and sometimes over the weekend. Other than that, Mr. Lively, I am heading out, and last but not least, stay safe, stay you. Thanks, guys.